of work, which includes such formidable albums as 2112, the latest studio album, Saints and Arrows, made a triumphant debut on the Billboard 200 upon its initial release in 2007. That's in the number 3 spot. The album's success marked Rush's highest chart debut since 1993, as well as the group's 11th. I get this, their 11th top 10 album in the U.S. And get this, Rush has sold more than 40 million albums. And they garnered untold legions of, as you know this, untold legions of devoted and admiring fans. And get this, according to the RIAA, Rush's sales statistics recently moved from 4th to 3rd. Consecutive gold or platinum studio albums by a rock band. Some of their most popular songs include The Spirit of Radio, Sawyer, Limelight, Closer to the Heart, YYZ, Working Man, and Subdivision. Rush has also won a number of Juno Awards, nominated for multiple Grammy Awards, was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame. The Order of Canada in 1997. And earlier this year, they received Canada's Songwriting Hall of Fame Award. Consistently celebrated and respected worldwide, Rush is the most successful Canadian rock band of all time. They remain one of the biggest grossing arena rock bands ever. Rush Beyond the Lighted Stage opened worldwide on June 10th. The film, which follows the band's 40-plus years career, premiered this past April at the 2010 Tribeca Film Festival. And it won the coveted Audience Award there. And for all of you fans here today, the film is slated for release on DVD and Blu-ray in the U.S. on June 29th. And today only, there will be a special screening of the documentary at Man's Chinese 6, just down the street. A last chance to see it on the big screen, so check that out. Rush will kick off its Time Machine tour on June 29th in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And they'll finish October 2nd in West Palm Beach, Florida. So, I think you've heard enough. Let's welcome to the stage now, Geddy Lee and Alex Lee. Because we have a few speakers. However, before I introduce our speakers, I want to acknowledge a couple of people who worked very hard to nominate Rush on behalf of the band. Please acknowledge, in Ed Wade, Kevin and Keith Purdy. Thank them for their work to make this happen. Now, our first speaker today is a respected and experienced media historian, as well as a former radio personality at WMMS Cleveland, where Rush received their first airplane as Working Man. Please welcome Donna Halper.
Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Donna.
So, are there any Rush fans here?
Going back on the covert report?
loyalty matter. And the story of my friendship with Rush involves both. In 1974, when I was the music director at WMMS in Cleveland, a Canadian record promoter named Bob Roker sent me an album that would go on to change my life. It was a band called Rush, and even though his label had refused to sign them, he wanted me to give them a listen. I did, and as most Rush fans know, I was impressed. WMMS began playing Working Man along with several other songs from the album, and soon other stations were playing Rush too. By the summer of 1974, they had a U.S. recording contract. I liked the members of Rush from the beginning. I found them very sincere and down to earth. Of course they wanted to become famous. What rock band didn't? But they were not just in it for the money. They took pride in their music. In those days, I was sort of a big sister to them. But as time passed, they became the confident, professional, and very successful band we all know, and they didn't need a big sister. They could have forgotten me at that point, since my contributions to their career were no longer essential. But as I said, this is about ethics and loyalty. For the past 37 years, we have kept in touch. I've defended them when critics were dismissive. And in return, they've never forgotten that I was there for them in the formative years of their career. And now I have the privilege to see their work as musicians rewarded with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Speaking not just for myself, but for millions of fans, all of whom want me to say thank you. There's the guy in Japan who learned English so he could better appreciate the lyrics of Rush songs. I've heard similar stories from fans in Chile, Brazil, Finland, Israel, Mexico, and elsewhere. There are entire Rush families, baby boomers who introduced their kids to Rush, and now they all attend concerts together. Rush fans are liberals, conservatives, people of faith, secular humanists, but their loyalty to Rush is something they all share. For nearly 4 decades, the members of Rush have remained true to themselves and true to their music. They've never allowed success to spoil them. They've never lost their integrity. And in a world where it often seems the good guys never win, Rush are living proof that sometimes good people do finish first.
People, we have the chairman of the board of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce with us, Mr. Sam Smith. And as I mentioned to the audience before, our star today is in front of the Musicians Institute. There's about 1,000 aspiring musicians who are going to see this star and be inspired for years to come. Please acknowledge the president of the Musicians Institute, Mr. Shibuya. One of the most compelling figures in rock. As a writer, producer, player, and singer, he's contributed to recordings by the likes of Cheap Trick, Rick Ocasek, New Order, and Hole, among others. Please welcome the vocalist, lead guitarist, and songwriter for the Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan.
Billy! All right, Frankie Billy.
Hey.
On a subway.
All right. Listen, if you would have told me in the basement in Glendale Heights, Illinois in 1975 that I'd be standing here with these guys, I think my head would have exploded while I was listening to my favorite album, 2112. We got the incredible song, Siren. Listen, I had to go to therapy trying to figure out what sickness was about. Okay? Living in the limelight, the universal dream. For those who wish to see, for those who wish to be, must put aside the alienation, get on with the fascination, the real relation, real relations, the underlying theme. I've been in the rock and roll business for about 20 years now. And let me tell you, these guys are the best of the best. band will listen and will care. That you're not just a bunch of sheep out there, that you actually give a fuck about what's going on.